It's so great to be here. I'm excited to be with Meredith Lubitz, the Senior VP of Talent Management at Dow Jones. Welcome. It's exciting to have
Thank
you
you.
at HCM Excellence Conference 2019. And we have so much to talk about. We're excited about your award-winning program and the session that you were in earlier today. So before we begin, I'd like to first, I'm going to ask you to share a little bit about your background and your responsibilities at Dow Jones, and then we'll talk about your initiatives around women in leadership.
Terrific. Thank you for hosting it. You did a beautiful job.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for your passion towards the topic, which was incredibly apparent during the session. So I have a pretty broad spectrum of responsibilities at Dow Jones. Everything from strategy-driven direction around talent acquisition and recruitment to how we onboard our employees, to how we get them really excited and energized about working at Dow Jones. So everything from running mentoring programs to leadership development programs to executive coaching and running that remit, and all the other ancillary programs and initiatives that we create to drive a high-performing organization.
Let's talk about high-performing program that you have in place. At a high level, what are the main components, and what has made it so successful?
Sure. So the main components of Ignite, which is our top talent female leadership program for our trailblazing women across the company, we really constructed this thoughtfully and thought about how do we create an experience that's really going to progress them towards the future. So thinking about the future of media, the future of business, the future of leadership, how do we create a program by which they will understand and be more primed to be successful to lead the company into the future? So connectivity, visibility, and sponsorship, executive sponsorship, were incredibly important key components of this experience.
And from what I remember, you had about 100 applicants is how you start, or what you had a set of criteria for the women to be in this program. Can you tell us about what the criteria was?
Sure.
And also you have you have a thought and process or a plan to do for other individuals in the organization as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So the process was actually, I think, quite interesting. With programs in the past, and I've been at Dow Jones for about 10 years, every program, for the most part, have been by nomination committee.
Oh, okay.
And in terms of this program, the application process was very democratized, whereby people who were interested that met the specific requirements, meaning they worked at Dow Jones for a year, they were eligible due to performance, they were director level and above, were required to submit a video, a mean three-minute video, letting us know a little bit about who they are, why they feel as though they would be an added value to the program, and ideas they have to drive kind of the company forward.
And taping a 3-minute video is not easy.
It is not easy. I can't tell you how many
It's
emailed
probably
me
easier
afterwards.
to do an hour than 3
I would
minutes.
absolutely.
Right.
I've been cut off. I can't rewind. Meredith, can you help me? I got a lot of those emails afterwards. But it was actually brilliant because the CEO sat down and reviewed these videos and was dumbfounded. He said, "Who are these people? I don't know them. This is fantastic."
That is great.
It was wonderful. They were required to submit 3 letters of reference, as well. And some of the key attributes we were looking for were obviously those that had a long-term invested interest in the future success of the company, entrepreneurial spirits, attitudes, creative influencers, strong leadership, a cadence of strong leadership and driving really strong results through their teams, and the viability of them promoting into future roles in the next 12 to 18 months.
Wow, that's great.
So a lot of the feedback and a lot of the questions I got after the session were, did you have resistance? And obviously when you're targeting a specific demographic, the other demographics feel as though they're not
Left
a
out.
part of it, right? So yes, initially I got a lot of sentiment from men, what about us? And it was incredibly important and incumbent upon our team for this program to be successful, because if it was successful, it would provide an invitation for more.
Right.
So we're happy to say that right now we're rolling out a gender-neutral program. It's more or less a top-tier leadership program to drive agility, innovation, leadership acumen across various teams globally.
Now, will you still have your Women in Leadership
Yes.
program as well?
Yes.
So those will be
Yes.
parallel
Yes.
to each other?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. What are some of the other benefits, would you say, that your participants walked away with, and the organization?
It's changed the culture.
Mm-hmm.
It has given an invitation for these women to have access to sponsors that are advocating on their behalf. They're relentless about not resignating to status quo. And I think overall, I think that's the greatest gift. And what they are role models and inspirations for women and men across the organization.
Absolutely.
To really, really stick true to your truth.
Right.
And your beliefs, and ensure that you are a catalyst for change. Be part of that, not only for the organization, but for themselves personally, and for the broader world, as we talked about before this taping.
One more question for you. Why are you so passionate about? Why is this helping other women become greater leaders?
I'm a woman.
Okay.
I think, obviously, when you're talking about like-minded interests, I relate. I relate to what it is like to have buckets in various compartments of life, and wanting to feel as though equality and parity and democracy prevails in every aspect of your life. So even if I wasn't a woman, I believe that we all deserve to be able to have an invitation to make an impact. And that, to me, I think creates oneness in humanity. And I believe my job in the workplace is to bring humanity into the workplace. And I think we are our best selves when we can show our true selves.
That's such a special answer. Very special. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.